Hello, and welcome to another scene in Kansas. Today we have some changelings meeting up in a bar.
Diner! Diner!
Yeah, diner, something like that.
Diner!
Yes, I've said it, diner. Like I said, sorry, it's 12 o'clock, and I'm a little tired. But yes, a diner. Somewhere. Primarily for changelings. And there we go.
Karina is coming in. I assume she's just taking Lucy because it seems like Lucy is very attached to Karina, and Karina doesn't understand why the commoner's hanging around her so much, but she's okay with it. She'll walk in, she'll say, and so these pancakes are good. That's what they are called, correct? Pancakes?
I think you might be wanting waffles. Waffles are good.
Waffles. All right. We shall get waffles then.
Just make sure there isn't any strawberries on them. I don't want any strawberries.
Very well. I was told about your issue with strawberries.
She smiles and grabs a hold of Karina's hand.
Karina still doesn't understand why the commoner's attached to her like this. Is Aurelius already there, or what?
Yeah, he has swirled himself away in a booth somewhere. He looks almost a little bit uncomfortable to be outside, away from his lair for the most part, but he's there, reading a kind of old-looking book with a cup of coffee in front of him.
Yep.
Ooh, it's Ori. We should sit by him.
I certainly do not mind sitting next to a recognizable face.
Lucy will nod.
Karina will start to make her way over to Aurelius. And she'll just knock on the table to let him know that someone's here.
He'll blink and look up a little surprised. He'll say, hello?
All right, so Karina is going to attempt to be a regular human for once. She is going to wave to him and get a gigantic smile on her face that seems super forced and says, "It is fancy meeting you here."
You sound like a robot. There's no need to act or to force yourself to act happy in my presence.
Oh, understood then. Then it is good to see you, Aurelius.
It is good to see you as well, Lady Stormfury.
Lucy smiles really softly, and then she says, how was the shop, Ori? Did you have a good day?
Yes, the shop was fine. He actually looks a little curious right now, as if he's trying to figure out something. I'll just kind of... Like, every time he's spoken with you guys have known, he's never actually looked directly at a person when he's speaking to them. Like, he's never done it in any of the conversations he's ever had. He usually looks off towards a wall or down at the book or at something, just never the person. So he's just kind of glancing around, looking really super fucking curious. Then he's just saying, yes, yes, that's really about it. The shop went as well as it usually does. Thank you for asking.
You're welcome.
I assume that
Just let me
business.
know if you need my help.
I assume.
Lucy will bow and she'll say, I'm sorry.
Karina's just gonna pat Lucy's head. She doesn't seem to be too offended by this, but she'll look over to Aurelius and ask, "I assume business is going well then. That is good to know."
Yes, indeed. It is a very good thing, which I enjoy.
What made you want to pursue such a business, or establish one? If you don't mind my asking, of course.
I thought it was fitting. It is something I enjoy. I get to stay at home and, well, home being my shop and my freehold. But I get to stay there and rarely speak with anyone, so it's quite nice. Plus, I'm surrounded by books and occult things which catch my interest.
Karina nods.
Lucy will smile too and she says, well, don't forget to come out a little bit so you can get, at least don't coop yourself up. I'm worried. You worry me if you coop yourself up too much. I don't want you to get sick.
Do you not know much about the Slua? We typically always stay in our homes. We don't come out very often, and we never get sick because we stay in our homes.
Oh, well, I was worried you might get bedlam or something.
For staying in our home?
Away from the world. People probably enter your shop, so maybe that's okay, she says, smiling softly.
Trust me, I don't think staying in my shop will push me into bedlam.
With the stifling air of this place, I imagine it must be very hard to lose yourself like that.
Perhaps lose myself in the books, but not lose myself in my mind.
That is what I refer to. If you are strong, then you remain so.
Tim, Aaron, your mic is getting a little.
Sorry, I think I moved it over on accident. What Karina said was, if you remain strong in mind, then you remain strong in mind.
Indeed. And if I ever do begin to fall into bedlam, I will definitely make sure to correct that. It is definitely not something I would want to ever have happen.
I assume all that you would need to do is walk down the street.
Or,
There's enough of gray, smoggy earth to go around.
indeed, it's quite easy to make sure you stay out of bedlam as long as you are not just completely living in the dreaming.
Yeah. I People say I have my head too much in the clouds and they're worried that I do that. They said that I need to come out more. That's why I like to go out with Karina or you.
You're a childling, aren't you?
Yeah. I mean, maybe.
And that is what you do. Your heads are always in the clouds.
As they are meant to be.
Indeed. And he kind of gets this down expression in his face, and he just kind of looks down at his book. He looks a lot more sad than he usually is.
Karina will, you know what, Karina's gonna grab hold of that. She'll look over to Aurelius and she'll say, I'm sorry, I did not mean to hit a nerve.
No, you haven't. I was simply remembering something.
Perception 5, empathy 4. What does Lucy get if she's just kind of looking at his expression? Is there a certain feeling that she could pick out?
He looks really fucking sad. Like, the conversation of children has definitely turned sad Slua into super sad Slua.
Lucy will. She feels really bad and she goes over and gives him a hug.
Oh no, that does not help.
Oh yeah, no, I feel like Karina, like the second like Lucy, like because I don't want to like directly stop a player action immediately before it happens because that's meta AF. But I assume Karina looks up to Aurelius and see that homeboy may be. How's he taking that?
The hug, I don't know if that triggers his derangement or not.
Oh,
Oh
shit.
god!
Oh, yes, this is gonna be a Lillian. Let's do it.
I'm sorry, Lucy wants to comfort you.
No, this is amazing. This is amazing. This is perfect.
You know what? It's just a social scene. It's not. I don't know. This is kind of a pretty fucking bad derangement, though. Like, I fucked this dude over.
Let's see what happens then. Let's see what
Yeah.
happens.
So he'll. It was very clear that he was not expecting the physical contact. So he just. Lucy can feel him tense up. Also, you have Perk 5. What's your, I'm assuming it's a pretty high alertness, too, huh?
Alertness 3, yeah.
Oh, we can't fucking do rolls.
Let's narrate it out then. We got this. We got this.
As you hug him, there are smooth patches underneath his shirt where you can't feel it over the vest, of course, because the vest is pretty thick, but he's wearing a loose white shirt. Of course, it's not a see-through white shirt, but it's kind of loose and airy. And as you kind of wrap your arms around him, you can feel the rough kind of hairiness of his arms, but occasionally, like, maybe on one or two fingers, you feel this kind of, it's oddly really smooth. And not like just shaved skin smooth. I'm talking smooth and hard. I doubt this is as an example, but I don't think Lucy's ever really touched a snake. But if you OOC have ever touched a snake, they feel it's like that.
Wow.
Because
Lucy will kind of have a puzzled look on her face when she hugs him then. And she'll kind of let go.
But yeah, he did tense up, and was just kind of like he wasn't moving her away, but it was that sort of like, I am kind of stunned thing.
Yeah, she'll let go of him. She didn't mean to. Oh, I'm sorry. I just noticed you seem sad.
It is extremely unwise to touch someone like that without their consent first, Lucy.
Mm. I thought all hugs made people happy. Oh, I'm
Only if
sorry.
they're wanted and accepted. Treat it as a learning experience. And Karina gets a soft smile on her face to Lucy. Um, but she'll look back over to Aurelius and say, she'll kind of get up, circle around to him. She's not getting up in his personal space, but he can plainly see that she's there. And she'll just ask, "Are you all right, Aurelius? Do you need to step outside?"
Yes, please, give me a moment. I will be. Uh, he doesn't even finish his sentence. It looks like he looks over into the corner. His eyes kind of go wide a little bit, and he doesn't bolt, um, because he technically is a noble. But he does very quickly get the fuck out of that shop. And it seems that one particular spot where he was looking, he seems to do his damnedest to stay as far away from that spot as possible as he walks through and out of the shop. He did leave his book there, though.
Lucy
Yeah.
will pick it up.
Okay.
All it's on is. Actually, that's a good question. I lost the book there. What was he fucking reading? It looks to be his own personal ledger. Um,
Oh shit.
Oh shit!
Well, that's plot.
no, because while he does have Spies 5 and this is his Spies notebook, I haven't been given anything with Spies, so technically there's no plot there, unfortunately.
The thing is, they know who the spies are.
Oh no, he didn't name. Well, I mean, kinda, but they're all wraiths, so.
Okay.
Because he's a Slua. I'm gonna use a fucking
Honestly,
brick,
though,
right?
Lucy wouldn't really look through it.
Does she have curiosity?
She doesn't have curiosity.
Oh shit! Wow, really? Damn! I thought she fucking had curiosity. Fuck, neither does Karina.
Yeah.
Shit.
I mean, but it was. I mean, you did say Lucy picked it up though, and so of course, I'm assuming she at least gets that first page. You can definitely see it's his ledger book. What it's got on there is pretty much. It's very kind of professional looking. It's like at insert time here. Spoke with Thaddeus. He told me a few interesting things. Uh, got blah 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 from blah blah blah, etc. etc. Doesn't I would say it might have something juicy in there, but I don't know anything that's going on. So
No, that's fair. Um,
It's up to STs if there's something juicy there.
yep, pretty much. But it is very obvious that this is his kind of personal business ledger, and so something must have been scaring the fuck out of him for him to just kind of bolt as he did and leave something that important, especially as a Slua, just there.
Lucy will quickly close the book. No, I'm really worried. This isn't something he would just leave behind.
seems that Aurelius is in more than just the business of books, then it seems. It's quite interesting. However, he did not seem okay. You are correct. We should give him a few minutes, then we should bring it back to him.
She'll nod.
Why did you look so surprised when you had hugged Aurelius earlier?
Oh, it was weird. It was like when I hugged him, like my fingers ran across his skin. It was just like smooth. Like it was odd. like smoother than skin.
Smoother than skin. I'll leave it up to you, OOC Kim, because Karina has definitely had experience with snakes.
I mean, look, that's up to you, but yeah, that's up to you. I just do have to remind you, you're being told this by a you
Right.
directly asked Apuka a question. You
Oh fuck.
asked, why did you look so surprised? And she gave you an answer. And the Slua Kith flaw is they can't answer truthfully a direct question unless they spend like willpower or roll it or something like that.
Spend and roll. It's pretty brutal.
Yeah, it's yeah.
I honestly though she was more surprised of like how he tensed up. So she was lying. So
Oh, okay. Karina will nod to that.
Lucy's just kind of looking at the book and she's like, I feel really bad holding this, but I don't want to let go of it because it's something it's really important. It's important for him.
Would you prefer it if I helped then?
No, I feel like he would get a little upset if I just gave it to somebody. I help him out a lot, so.
That's understandable then. I'll just go and make sure he is okay. He may have
She'll
had
nod.
to calm down.
He's probably at the store now. Maybe if we can get over there.
Could be. Karina and Lucy will exit without the waffles, unfortunately. She'll step out, look side to side. Is Aurelius like outside the diner?
Yeah, he's there. Like he didn't leave. He's just kind of leaning against the wall outside the diner, taking a few breaths.
Aurelius, it's Lady Karina. May I approach you?
Yes, of course, my lady. My apologies for my earlier behavior.
I do not care about any breach of etiquette. I care about your well-being. Are you okay? As
Yes,
Karina gets closer.
Lucy pulls the book that she found on the table and she hands it to him. She says, I tried not to look at anything.
he looks a little hesitant to take it from Lucy, but he'll end up taking it and say, thank you for that, and my well-being it's fine. Thank you for your concern.
She'll nod.
Would you like to speak on it?
No, I would not.
Then I will respect your privacy.
Thank you. It seems I have already taken up enough time, and the last thing I want this meeting to become about is me. So
Karina gets another soft smile. It seems like these are much more genuine than the forced one that she had to make, or that she tried to make, to be like more of a regular person. And she says, well, it is about all of us, is it not? But I understand. I know that Slua do not appreciate a large amount of attention drawn to themselves.
He'll smile slightly. Yes, of course. Please let us go back into the diner and continue eating. Or for you to whatever you were doing before, of course.
I was going to try these waffles. Would you also like waffles?
No, thank you. I believe I will be good with my coffee.
Yeah, waffles are the best, except pancakes are better.
Of course, young Lucy.
So they go back inside. Karina, upon hearing that pancakes are better than waffles, but she was also told that waffles are better than pancakes, decides to get both waffles and pancakes. Fuck the police. Lucy can get whatever she likes. Karina does let them know no fucking strawberries. No, I'm serious. No strawberries.
Lucy asks for blueberry French toast.
That's going to start a whole conversation as to why toast is French.
Oui, oui.
But yeah, they get the food and they start eating. And Karina eats a lot. That's a thing.
Lucy eats hers pretty fast too, though.
Jesus Christ, everyone yawning.
It's contagious.
Yep.
We probably have a few people kind of staring at the table because Lucy and her bizarre quality slip saming.
Yeah.
Oh, I ain't even gonna lie. Karina probably would have gotten Lucy a goddamn beanie because fuck that.
I mean, rabbit ears are pretty fucking big. It's hard to just cover that shit up with a beanie.
Yeah, what she usually does is just wears a bunny dress, make it look like it's part of the dress.
That's
She's a
pretty
kid; she
legit.
can pull it off.
Yeah.
Oh, how has everyone been so far? Have the days gone well?
Each day brings a new learning experience. I hope to be able to live as one of them fully soon.
Why?
Because it is what I must do. We must maintain these. Karina looks at her own arm, like her own body, and she'll just say, suits. We must wear these suits to live. Whilst I may
Lucy
not.
kind of.
Whoa.
Sorry. Lucy will kind of adjust her dress, and she'll say, "I like my suit."
That is you. I read
She kind of
stories.
cocks her head to the side. Sorry.
I read stories about how we all held immense power. And I know, because of what I've read, being in this limits me. The least that I can do is learn how to use it effectively.
He nods and says, that is a curious way to look at it, but indeed a look. Though there are, I won't say many, but a few who seem to be very at home in these bodies. Some might call them too human.
Yes, Corey was. He was very muted. Something about his nature was faded.
Indeed.
It is worrying.
And why does it worry you?
If his soul is truly so faded, he is at a greater risk of being lost to banality. And that is not an option for us.
Each in our own way, are we not closer to falling into banality's grasp? Anyway. Now that what we are, after all, and some of us having to unfortunately lead rather banal lives in order to sustain a living in this environment. Personally, that would concern me more than simply being more in touch with their human side.
There's a difference between being in touch with your humanity and having your humanity eradicate that which shines within you.
Is it though? Is it such a bad thing for him?
In my opinion, absolutely.
Does he see it this way?
He does not. At least I do not believe he does. I told him that if he wants or needs any glamour, all he has to do is contact me. I may have my opinions, but I'm not quite in the business of micromanaging commoners' lives.
He nods. There are many who might be surprised at that. It is unfortunate, but nowadays most people do not view she in a very good light, I suppose you could say.
Lucy actually will pull out the deck of tarot cards that she had that she was practicing with the other day, and she'll just start playing with them.
I have read some of the histories detailing our return. It was definitely not an ideal situation.
But at the time it was unfortunately the best we had. There were ways it could have been better on both sides.
She nods.
Blaming one party entirely is unfair, to say, for the most part.
I believe the kids say, I can get down with that.
Lucy smiles and like covers her face, like as she starts laughing or giggling. I mean,
It does indeed seem like you were able to get down with that.
After all, I don't exactly blame the commoners for being opposed to give up their authority, their autonomy after so long.
Indeed.
Of course, there would be opposition to that.
But there are still better ways to go about it than what was done.
Of course.
But such an unfortunate topic for a pleasant evening so far.
Ooh, out of character, you got real quiet. I didn't catch that last part.
Oh, my bad. He said, well, such a unpleasant conversation or unpleasant topic for such a pleasant day so far.
Karina will respond with, maybe, but we gain nothing if we don't talk about things that are unpleasant sometimes. There's much that I have to learn about this new world.
There are better places to learn about it than inside of a cafe as you were trying to eat.
I believe that it is one of the better ways.
Perhaps I am old then. I always thought a library would be better for learning.
Books are wonderful from a scholarly standpoint. They teach you broad generalities. They teach you things such as when the Second World War began, when it ended. Teach you things such as the assassination of America's President John Kennedy. They teach you many things, but what they don't teach you of is the small things. How to order waffles and pancakes. How to drive a car. How to say hello. What intimacy for a human needs.
And I never said they did. But the topic at hand being the wars, how many people view she, I don't believe is a topic to be held over waffles. But, like I said, perhaps I am old. and too far set in my ways. Or perhaps something like this is better not spoken of between a noble and a commoner so openly.
Why not? We both have voices. We both have wills of our own.
Indeed we do, but there are many, in my experience, who would not enjoy having a commoner say that what happened wasn't right. And she or not the most pleasant to be around on occasion, or at least some of them. Many take offense to that, and, well, some of us learn the hard way.
The way that I see it, if anyone, noble or commoner, cannot handle me when I am at my most unpleasant, and they do not deserve me in my best days, at least when it comes to standing by my side.
Of course. But many did not see it that way. All they saw was someone who had left trying to come back and take over the position that had been filled as they were gone. Many people did not like or want that.
She sits back. She listens. And she will respond with, from our perspective, those that came back from Alpine truly believed that those holdings were still theirs, and that those that held it in our absence were seneschals. We have a funny way of perceiving time. It did not seem quite as long for us, or at least me. I am not sure. But either way, it lasted multiple hundred years here. You had found your own authorities to maintain order. You even developed the Changeling way, that way you might live. And this is the reason the Thane survived to this day. And I believe that that ritual is something that is far too often overlooked. Despite my misgivings.
I'll nod. Yes, indeed. That definitely was the case. But being left for so long, it should have been expected that we would have done something, tried to rule our own selves as we did. I'm not, given how the Shi are, I'm not saying it is a out of the question thing for them to have come back and wanted to rule again, but instead of earning that respect back after leaving us here, They instead simply tried to take it because they believed it was their birthright. And many did not like that.
Yes, that is something that I personally did not understand in the books, in the histories. Not all commoners have liked me, Aurelius, I will be honest. But when they didn't, they either respected me or they knew what would happen if they did not. I normally do not like the latter, for I do not favor coercion, especially when it is my own people.
And why do you do it?
I rarely do, if ever. I haven't done it since I got here. And I certainly don't remember what I did prior.
Why did you phrase it that way? You said the other. He
Sorry?
pauses and sorry, he said that, and then he just paused and shook his head. Still very, very deliberately not uh, looking up. Like this entire conversation, he has been just kind of staring at the table, like he refuses to look up. Um, during this entire conversation, he'll just sort of shake his head and say, never mind, I lost my train of thought. It was just curious how you phrased that as if you had used coercion before in a very unpleasant sense, yet didn't like it. So I was. And you have given your reasoning as to why you did it, so my apologies. I don't know what happened there.
It is perfectly all right.
Lucy's just kind of humming very softly while she's playing with the cards. She's kind of listening, but she's kind of not. But she, she sounds really good. Like she's just kind of trying to mind her own business.
Either way, you seem like a rather respectable woman, Lady Storm Fury. It is hard to see why there would be people who would not like you unless they were, for lack of a better term, racist.
She chuckles to herself and she says, there is no need for the flattery.
It is not.
I'm. She nods then, taking it a bit more seriously. If he is actually being real with,
Oh yeah, no, he wasn't kissing her ass. He was just, in his eyes, he was just stating a fact.
okay, she'll say, I understand that there are those that have issues with my kith, and just as many that have issues with my personal opinions, my beliefs as to how things should be going. And to disagree is their right. Dreaming is possibility. Who am I to eliminate the possibility and eliminating a different viewpoint simply because it conflicts with mine? If it directly hurts others, that is when I draw an issue.
I believe there's a difference, though, between having an issue with you and then having an issue with you because you are simply a she.
To many, we will always be those that usurped the common opinions that existed. What many neglect to remember is that there are many houses that did not come until long after. I don't mean to say not all she. I believe that's a variance of the meme or the hashtag. But some of us were not involved. And some of us would likely have been absolutely appalled to hear about the actions of our peers.
Indeed. I understand that, but unfortunately not everyone does.
She nods, and in the most casual move that she's made tonight, she shrugs and says, "Nothing can be done about it. Well, there is much that can be done about it. All that we can do is take it day by day and step by step. While I cannot redeem the whole kith, I can redeem myself in their eyes. Even though the sins that were not mine, they still do affect me. And I will not have someone else's past dictate my future."
Indeed, as many people believe.
Do you normally get people to ramble to you like this?
He smiles, and it's a very sly smile, very tiny. And he'll say, I don't know what you mean. I don't see it as rambling. I thought it was a conversation between two intriguing individuals.
Whatever you say, then. She smiles as well. Um,
Unless you find it odd to tell others your view. Or your views, I should say.
I have no problem expressing my beliefs. These are, I like to think, known amongst those that are close to me. Close to Lucy.
Lucy kind of sets her cards down and she kind of just says, "Well, my point of view is just let them eat cake."
I have read that as well. In the books.
Read that? I just came up with it.
Of course you did, dear. It was very clever of you.
I know, right? She smiles. By the way, in the scene, what time is it? Please don't say it's 1 a.m. because that would look bad.
Let's
Oh, no.
say it's slightly earlier than that. Do we want to say it's happening around the same time that, Eric kills that dude in the party and everyone's like having a breakdown?
Fucking 7 o'clock. Yeah, you know that would actually be kind of really fucking funny, at least in my eyes. You have one group, in one group in another city, they're having like a really one of the worst nights of their life, and then on another one, we have a philosophical debate between a fucking she and a slua.
Salty.
But yeah, so I guess that would be around 7:30ish. So it's decent time for a nice late night talk at a diner.
By the way, I wanted to ask, what do you think my chances are of actually finding my mom?
You're asking me then.
Both of you? No, I don't know. I don't know if I want to really ask it, but
I think that in our world anything is possible. I cannot go in with calculations or probabilities. I am sorry.
it's okay. I also heard the Fior time limit is coming up. I hope Traori finished what he was supposed to do.
Oh, if he didn't, I suppose we shall have a new lady in the city.
I think I'd turn it down.
And that is your decision?
She smiles softly at Aurelius.
Yeah, no, he's not looking up from the book.
I
He's
am
my bad.
actually this is the first time Karina's heard of the Fior. Karina will look over and ask, Fior, what do you mean? Fior is undergoing a trial by Fior.
Lucy kind of looks at Ori and then she says, "You might want to ask him."
She looks to Aurelius.
Oh, so Kim zoned out for all of 5 seconds as you said that. What the fuck's going on? What is he asking?
Karina just found out that Traori is undergoing a trial by Fior.
Ah, okay. Just imagine me, Sealy, rubbing my hands together as I get ready to tell this fucking awesome story.
Out of character, Lucy was asked, and Lucy was like, "I can't tell a direct question. Here, Aurelius should say it."
Yeah, I got you. Okay. Aurelius will nod and say, it's quite the talk of the court. It seems Traori, the name on everyone's lips lately, has made a bit of a blunder to himself. And the Baron gave young Lucy here his title of knight and all of his squires as well. And then, in an effort to retain his title, mind you, this is only for the next 4 months was this to be active. But in an effort to maintain his title and his squires, he demanded a challenge, which he is undergoing to see if Dreaming sees if this is a true fit or not, and if he should gain his title back. He was given a month but it seems the month is slowly coming to, well, not slowly, but very rapidly coming to a close. And it does not look like he has completed his challenge.
Lucy kind of bites her lip.
So, that is what has been going on. It's intriguing, I suppose one could say. And again, I can understand why she would be loath to give his title up to a 9-year-old puka. But on the same hand, perhaps if he hadn't acted how he had, his title still would have been his. And again, I won't say I heard the Baron's edict. I heard a second-hand version, but apparently he had to repeatedly say that he was the Baron and that we were all under his rule and should respect him because of that. It was curious. Should a man in a position of power not have to go around proclaiming it loudly for the benefit of everyone? Isn't that something that has recently been going around in that show that everyone talks about? Didn't one of the characters say something similar to that? Can't remember.
Karina kind of blinks, and she seems very confused, but she'll say, "Any man who has to say, 'I am the king,' is no true king." Tywin
Wait.
Lannister.
Yes, that is what I was speaking of.
Karina looks hella confused on that.
It was in that show. But anyway, long story short, basically the Baron had to loudly go around proclaiming that he was the Baron. And a lot, at least the popular rumor and gossip talk among the courts has been comparing what he did to the quote by that Tyrion Lannister.
It was Joffrey that said it. Tywin was the one that called him out on it.
As I have said, I do not watch the show. My apologies if I got it wrong.
It is all right. I did not watch the show either.
Read the books then?
No, not yet at least. He's been on my list. I believe that maybe I've seen them before, and I'm calling up distant memories. Human ones.
He knows. That is entirely understandable. Yes, that has basically been the rumors going around. All been quite interesting. In the period that I've been here, nothing so exciting has ever happened, at least until recently.
Yes, I wish for a bit more of something to happen here. From what I understand, Kansas is a very small place. In the grand scheme of things, at least.
Indeed. There are many places much bigger, such as Texas or Alaska. That is not meant to say that this can't be an interesting place. Just that it doesn't have as much land mass.
The only thing I can say for certain is that this place has crazy weather.
Indeed.
Lucy will pull out her phone and she'll show a picture of like Kansas with like two tornadoes in the picture. I saw this on the internet.
It seems rather apt.
Karina looks at the tornadoes, the storm that's happening, and she looks. She looks at it. She looks at it very closely. Um, I don't want to say longingly because that's not the right adjective, but it's the closest one that I can think of. Almost as if the woman with the surname Storm Fury has some kind of connection with storms.
Huh.
But
She's
you didn't
sexually.
hear from me.
I hear being sexually attracted to storms is a thing somewhere out there.
Well, I mean, Karina ain't that far about it, damn.
I mean, I don't know. That's just kind of what I thought, but anyway, yeah. So Aurelius will just kind of look to her and see that and just kind of arch an eyebrow and say, missing something?
Yes. She says the weather here is bad or crazy. I find that it is perfect, personally.
Many fear the storms and their destructive powers. Entire cities lost and destroyed, loved ones gone beneath the sea and the rain. I suppose some people could have an attraction to that. Many just find them terrifying. They fear for their family and their loved ones during that. But others are invigorated. Seems that you were the ones invigorated.
When the fury of a storm is unleashed, being scared or terrified is only an indication that you are still sane.
So what
Some,
would you... My bad?
some would rage against that, shout to it, become impulsive, and do something dramatic with it. There are other storms, though. There are some that bring life, save crops, replenish a water supply if that may. That way, a village can continue to prosper and live.
Lucy smiles and she says, "Sometimes storms bring spring."
But even the most beneficial storms bring death in their wake. The monsoons, which do indeed bring rain that is desperately needed, also cause massive flooding. There is good and evil in both things.
It is nearly impossible to assign something like good and evil to something like nature itself. It doesn't have that, unfortunately. We do.
I understand that it is simply that. It simply exists. But many would label it good or bad.
I suppose. But if we were to look at it like that, there would be death in everything. Even the air we breathe slowly kills us.
Indeed. But that is the thing about life. Death follows it. It is a cycle. It seems to be forever going on and on and on. Life into death and death into life.
Exactly. Karina looks over to Lucy, who's knocked out. And Karina looks to her and looks back to Aurelius and says, "It may be time that I bring her home." Back to Corey.
Indeed. It was a pleasant conversation. I enjoyed it.
I'm glad you did. I also apologize for whatever Lucy had done to discomfort you so.
It was nothing. I will be fine in a few days or hours.
She'll not. She'll say, "Very well then. Good night, Aurelius." And Karina will look to her hand, kind of arch an eyebrow like she's not sure she's doing this correctly, but she'll extend her hand to Aurelius, like she's trying to shake his hand.
He'll take her hand and say, good night, Lady Storm Fury.
That Karina scoops up Lucy and takes her the fuck home.
Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. This has been another scene in Kansas.